But then I'm gonna get in trouble because I just wanted to put some of my Texas Pete up my red hot in there when I'm done. So, and now you hurt, but I get in trouble. What the heck?
Right, because you decided to do something you weren't even supposed to do in the first place.
Exactly.
Impact. 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 In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, Jamichael Moore. And we are the Residual Impact Podcast.
Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves.
And then apply to their communities.
Let's grow.
Yes, sir. Beautiful thing.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
First off, I want to say new year, new hair. Bruh. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my cousin Alexis. She hooked me up with a new do for the new year.
I dig it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Right now I feel like somebody pulling my wig back. You feel me? Like
pull his cap black blue.
But yo, you know what I'm saying? The ladies love it, so I'm cool with it.
Hey, man,
I love it. I like it. You know,
that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course. No matter who else loves it, but you know, I need to give it some time to grow out a little bit more. But it's different. Now I have way more hair on the top of my head than I ever thought.
Hey, man, that's what's up.
So yeah, man, it's great to not be wearing a hat on the episode for once, man. It's been months. So.
Man, got that clean lineup.
Yeah.
Got the Allen Iverson braids to the back.
Well, not quite AI style,
well,
but you know.
You know, it's growing, you know. Baby eye.
Got the baby braids.
Nah, man, it looks dope, though, for real.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
But how was your week, though, man? Leading up to it.
The week was great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, work was work. 9 to 5 was 9 to 5. I ain't talking about that. But, you know, it was great coming up with ideas regarding content for us. You know what I'm saying? Putting some new things together. Helped us get a significant boost of traffic on our IG.
Amen.
And some more traffic on YouTube. So that's a good thing. Shout out to our new subscribers on YouTube and all of our new followers on Instagram, man. We are close to 300 right now.
We are, brother. We are.
Wow. So, yeah, man, it was great. You know, anytime where I could think of some new ideas just to kind of help us improve and help us grow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel accomplished doing that. You know?
That most definitely is accomplishment, though.
Yeah.
Most definitely, brother.
So, again, shout out to all of you guys. We greatly appreciate it because without y'all, man, we really wouldn't be doing this.
Yes.
We wouldn't.
Real talk.
How was your week, brother?
The week, man, it started off a little rocky, brother. I ain't gonna lie to you. I had a little situation.
Oh.
So, I have 2 phones. You know, no Kevin Gates. But I have 2 phones, and apparently one of them somehow magically got a password on them. I don't typically do that.
Whoa.
And I didn't know what the password was. So I'm over here guessing, trying to figure it out, and I never got to guess the right one. So
That's crazy.
It erased everything I had on the phone. I had to go through the whole process. So yeah, my backup phone, it just erased it all. So I had to start over from scratch with it.
Wow.
So, you know, it was my Android, you know, so now I'm fully on Team iPhone now. You know, but you know,
hey, well, I've been telling people for years, you know, Androids can be hacked easier than iPhone, but hey, you know, it is what it is.
Man, so, but other than that, you know, that did bother me for a little bit, but at the end of the day, I had to remember that, hey, it's just all material. It's something that can be replaced, kind of, because I couldn't get my pictures back or my notes back.
Dang, man.
I'm
sorry to hear that.
So good.
Bruh.
But other than that, man, the week was good. I spread my wings doing some different things, some different endeavors.
Hey, congratulations on that.
Oh, man, thank you. One step closer to ownership as well.
Hey.
We trying to push the ownership. Our streams of income are still growing. We still trying to make the most of everything. Like you say, man, I want this to grow as well. So mentally, man, I just been, you know, as far as like editing goes, I've been trying to grow in editing and learning more. You've been teaching me a lot of more stuff.
You've been doing a great job with editing. So,
thank you,
yeah,
man. Thank
keep
you.
it up.
It was like actually one night, bro. I was up to like 5 a.m., brother.
Seriously?
I realized, yeah. But it's crazy because, bro, you know how they talk about, you know, when you're doing something that you actually love, like you don't even realize the time that goes by doing it, bro. I was like literally up till 5 a.m. one night doing this, and I was like, okay, all right, let's just go to bed now. Like, I was okay with that. And I was like, man, like, when it comes to this editing and doing this, it's like I know we're putting our foot towards something that, bro, this is us. Like, we created this, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like we're gonna see the fruit of it. So it's just like I don't feel the same like when I'm working on my job. Like, oh, I'm tired. Like, I'm just ready to go home. Nah, bro. Like, I can do this all night.
Most definitely. So. And you know what? That hard work is paying off, right? We are now, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode.
What's that?
Right? But we are now on Amazon Music. Right? We are on Amazon Music. And if you have, for anybody who's listening to us or watching us, if you have an Amazon Echo, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play the Residual Impact podcast.
Ooh.
And our podcast will come on.
Ooh.
Yep.
That's fire.
Yep. I tried it in my house and I was shocked. Like,
Dude.
she threw out the name, the episode title, like all of that. And I'm just like, yo, we weren't there initially. Like, when we thought about this, we didn't know that we could do that.
No. And it was dope because I met I knew this person, but somebody I used to work with. And then, they said they remember when I was talking about doing a podcast a long time ago. And they was like, I told them that I'm actually doing one now. And they was like, here, yeah, type it in my phone real quick. And as I was typing it in my phone and I just seen us pop up, it was just like so dope to see us on a platform. We just look official, brother. Like, this is like when people see, like when you tell them that we're doing a podcast and they see what we have and then they see we actually have a catalog, bro, it's like, hold on, y'all actually serious about this.
Yes.
And it's like, it's another sense of pride that comes with that, man, knowing that we worked for this. So
we did. We definitely did.
That was cool.
Yeah, man, the hard work is certainly paying off. So keep doing your thing with the editing, man.
Thank you.
Let's rise to the top.
Oh, let's do it, brother.
Because we will be there.
We will. In the Ferraris.
Vroom, vroom, fool. We definitely going to be there. But yeah, man, I want to get right into it. We have a jam-packed episode today, ladies and gentlemen. I know we do have a substantial amount of women who tune into us each week. And we love y'all and we thank y'all. But this episode right here is strictly for the fellas. But ladies, you could probably learn something from it too. So, just listen and take heed to everything that we're about to say. Because it's getting crazy out here. If y'all thought it was crazy before,
this right here? this right here? Yeah.
Facts, yo, for real. But the starting topic that I wanted to begin with today, Drake.
Huh? What you talking about? Drake?
His situation with an IG model, supposedly, or alleged situation with an IG model from a few weeks ago, where the two of them supposedly met on IG, and he invited her back to the telly, and they were going to have consensual relations, right?
Okay.
But of course, Drake, being the man that he is, the smart man that he is, protecting his name, his brand, the whole nine, he was strapped up, right? He was safe. And he even disposed of the rubber after doing the deed. You feel me?
Okay.
With that, he tied it up and threw it in a trash can and thought nothing of it. Walked away. And not too long afterwards, he heard a scream coming from the bathroom.
Oh, Lord.
When he went to check out what it was the young lady screaming because she had to learn the hard way that Drake put hot sauce in the rubber.
What?
You know what I'm saying? And this young lady allegedly took the rubber and tried to impregnate herself.
Oh, my God.
With the contents inside of it. So she could come up off a check and say that I'm pregnant with Aubrey Graham's kid. You got to pay me, whatever. And she was committing sperm theft.
I didn't even know that was such thing.
Neither did I. But here's the kicker. Sperm theft is not technically illegal.
How so, Sway?
I don't know. But from what I've read online, just a quick Google search, one of the first things that popped up was Wikipedia. But we all know how things can go with Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna read this portion out. Y'all let me know your thoughts on it. Sperm theft, also known as unauthorized use of sperm, sperm jacking, or spurgling, occurs when a man's semen is used against his will or without his knowledge. Although the term uses the word theft, it more closely falls under a state of fraud or breach of contract. In most jurisdictions, sperm theft is not illegal and usually has little bearing on issues like child support. It is considered an issue in the men's rights movement. So, in most jurisdictions, it is not illegal. And when I was doing research on this, bro, there are cases from all over the world regarding sperm theft. There was one that I was reading about in Australia. I think one popped up from Israel. Like it's known. Like this stuff happens.
Right. I can understand that.
And a lot of guys, like us as guys, as a matter of, like, we don't think about this stuff.
No.
You know, whenever, you know, we meet a young lady and we want to have relations, whatever, you know, whether it's the first night or we get to know her for a little bit and we decide to smash a little later on down the line, we don't think that we really have anything to lose in the aspect of she might, if we have a lot going on for ourselves, she might decide to try to trap us. Now, I know that this, it was rumored to happen a lot with athletes back in the 90s.
Yeah, I can understand that. Wow.
But the method back then was turkey basters.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I remember that. I remember to talk about that.
So, yeah, that as crazy as it sounds, there were some women who allegedly used turkey basters whenever they were messing with an athlete to try to impregnate themselves and come up off a check.
Or they'll poke holes into the condoms.
Yes.
As well before
Yes.
giving them.
My parents warned me about that growing up. Like, if I was to ever have, you know, I mean, we had the sex talk young, so they didn't know when I was going to start becoming active. Mom, if you're listening to this, now's the part where you turn off.
She educated you, though.
I mean, she did, you know. I think my dad had to talk with me when I was like in the 4th grade, yo.
Oh, man, he ain't wasting no time.
He ain't waste no time. He had to talk with me when I was in 4th grade, and I was like, you know what? Sure. Like, I understood, but I was what, 8, 9 maybe? I wasn't thinking about sex back then.
Hey.
But I mean, the talk came in handy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Shoot, nowadays that's actually maybe too late.
You know what? You're absolutely right, and
So-
it's crazy to even think that, man.
I'm so serious, brother.
It's crazy to think that. But yo, like, fellas, I mean, he said something key. Like, just be careful when using rubbers, man. Especially if the young lady ends up getting them. She could potentially, if she is trying to trap you, she could potentially poke holes in it.
Yeah.
And you won't even be aware of it. Now, it's to the point to where I've heard that so many times growing up, like I said, especially from my parents.
Yeah.
My pull-out game on point.
Bruh.
I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah, man, ain't nothing wrong with that, brother.
Right? I pull out with condoms on. So I don't have to worry about getting anybody pregnant. Let's just say that as far as I know, first and foremost, my birthday is tomorrow as we are recording this. I will be 33 years old. But as far as I know, I am 33 years old and have no children.
Somebody come out.
Do not put that on me.
I got you.
Don't speak that into
I got
existence,
you.
man. You can't do that.
I got you. Hold up.
But yo, like, in all actuality, man, if that were to happen, which I pray it does not happen, the last person who I was with in that sense, she ended up buying the condoms, and I really wasn't trying to do anything. I really wasn't trying to do anything.
Yeah.
But yo, when I say peer pressure is something else,
Oh,
man,
of course.
like,
It's a real thing.
you know what I'm saying? I've never really fallen to peer pressure with a lot of things, you know? I waited till I was 21 to have my first alcoholic beverage when a lot of my friends was drinking in high school, middle school even.
Yeah.
I waited, you know what I'm saying?
Good job, brother.
But certain things like this, you know, I wasn't ready to have, you know, relations with this particular woman, and she pushed. She was attractive, and, you know, I was just like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Got my dumb ass.
Got you. Man, I am mad at it.
So, yeah, if anybody were to come to me and say, you know what, you have a child,
Yeah.
which again, I pray that this don't happen because we haven't had contact with each other in like a year now.
Yeah.
So, it would be her.
Yeah.
But anybody else who I've ever messed with in that capacity,
They lying.
They lying. Straight up, they lying. Because I know for a fact I ain't get them pregnant.
Well, I hope not.
So,
but my thing is with this Drake thing, bro, like, why not just flush it? Like, I mean, you got control of the condom. Take it off and don't put it in the trash. Clearly you had sense enough to tie it, and amongst other things, I'm trying to figure out what kind of hot sauce was it, first off.
Was it like the red hot sauce, or was it like a white hot sauce?
Where was the hot sauce at? Because you had to have it straight and handy before you done tied it up, and, like, where was it at?
I saw somebody tweet something on Twitter. They's like, this is how Drake walks around with hot sauce. It was like a cowboy with a bottle of Texas Pete in his back pocket.
Bruh, like, I mean, was it the packets? Like, did
it
you
was
have
probably the packets. I don't think the man walking around with a bottle.
Hey man, look, we don't know because
we don't know.
He just put a lot of people up on game. Clearly, clearly. I mean, but hey, I understand. But I just, why not flush it down the toilet?
You know what? You're the second person who I've heard mention that. Second person out of people I know. Like, but I think that he didn't flush it because it could be harmful. It's you think about it. It's a condom going down the toilet.
I get that.
It could probably stop everything up and cause serious problems.
I get that. But I mean, well, and now I was thinking about that other side too. So for my environmental conscious people, I understand that, But for this circumstance, I was just thinking because clearly the brother is he not into some possible trouble because of this?
Yeah, he is in some possible trouble because now the young lady is trying to sue. What? And she could potentially have enough evidence for the start of a case, from what I heard a lawyer say. But potentially, the case might be pushed to the point to where they'll have to settle out of court. Now, listen, I'm no lawyer, so don't take my advice from it. This is something that I heard another lawyer say when speaking on this topic. So, I'm not offering legal advice. I don't know what exactly could happen in this civil lawsuit.
Yeah. But
there might be a chance that a civil lawsuit could be filed. We don't know. I mean, it could happen. It's sad. It's really sad, but it could happen.
That's a reach. I don't see how a court system could side with her to say, yeah, you're in the right for what you did. I don't see it.
Well, what I've learned in these last few months to a year was that when it comes to family court situations, men typically are on the losing end. It's much easier for a woman to put a man on child support for a kid that's not his than it is for a man such as Drake to beat a case like this, because no matter what happens, if there's money involved, if a man has to fork out money, these court systems, the court systems will end up getting a percentage of that money. And I also learned that if a woman was to place a man on child support, the courts get a percentage of that money as well.
So they trying to side with him because they know they're going to get a cut off.
They're going to get a check. Yeah. They're going to get a piece of whatever money is going to come out.
Versus them not winning, then ain't no money being shelled out, and therefore they don't get. Oh, okay.
Correct. Okay. So in my opinion, it's all a money grab. Wow. So yeah. First of all, I really think that sperm theft should be illegal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because these brothers out here, especially celebrities, athletes, whomever, is in a position of power or has status, if they're not trying to have a child and they're upfront with everything, they're like, listen, this is not what I want. If we want to have a good time, let's have a good time, whatever. I will be safe. Make sure that we consent to this. We're both consenting adults. Yeah. Let's be consenting adults and just have our fun. But I don't want a child.
Because to me, my thought process would be, if you're using a condom, that shows that your intent is to not try to have a kid.
You would think. But here's the thing. Common sense ain't so common.
Well, yeah, we know that, man. Clearly. That's just not fair.
It's not.
That's not fair. We done used the condom, of course, to protect from an STD, but also so that we don't have kids from this. And then you going behind my back, and you gonna go take the condom and try to insert it in. But then I'm gonna get in trouble because I just wanted to put some of my Texas Pete up my red hot in there when I'm done. So, and now you hurt, but I get in trouble. What the heck?
Right, because you decided to do something you weren't even supposed to do in the first place.
Exactly. That is dumb. Gosh, man.
So, yeah, man, like I said, there are cases of sperm theft all over the world. As horrible as it is, man, this thing exists in more than just the United States. So, in this era, pretty much the social media era that we're living in this day and age, whatever it is that you want to call it, there are a lot of men out here getting in trouble in situations like this because, for the most part, we are thinking with the head down below versus the head up above.
I agree.
You know, even if we are thinking with the head up above to try to be safe in situations like this, you never know what the woman might be thinking, you know, when you are trying to just have consensual relations as two consenting adults. Yeah. You never know, man. She might really be trying to get something from you other than just that instant gratification for the night.
That's true. I think, and it all goes back to how you said in a previous episode, like, it's about vetting these women.
Yeah.
Then again, if your intentions are to only smash at the end of the day, I mean, you ain't really worried about the rest of that.
You ain't vetting much.
You ain't
like,
vetting.
All you're
your vetting checklist is probably one. Man, she look good.
Body. Is she cute?
Yeah,
check. Does she got body? Check. Is she DTF? Check. That's it. That's all the vetting you doing.
You ain't really worrying about nothing after that until everything done went about, and then you're in that situation. And it reminds me of one time where I found out, I'm not sure if I told this story, but I was talking to this girl at one point in my life, and I found out, you know, she was cool when I was talking to her, but I found out that apparently she used to actually set people up. What? And I never knew that. She didn't try that on me, but apparently she used to actually set dudes up and would have them be robbed.
Well, ain't no way, boy.
And luckily, like I said, we were on good terms, so she never really tried that with me. But she would get them to certain places and call somebody else, yo, come get this guy, come do such and such, we here. And she would have him set up.
She belongs to the streets.
I thank God that he protected me from that one because, yeah, we were cool. We talked for a while, too.
Wow.
So that was crazy. So
and you know what? It's crazy that you brought that up because that leads me into the next topic I wanted to talk about, man.
Gosh.
For real. That's something that's also been becoming somewhat of a phenomenon, man. Like women setting men up to get them robbed or beaten or whatever the case may be, man. And it's especially more easily accessible in this internet era, this social media era.
I agree.
Because nowadays we have sites like Tinder, Black, Bumble, whatever other dating apps out there. I don't even know all the other dating apps.
I ain't even know the ones you just named.
Hey, lucky you. You ain't never had to go on one because you've been married for quite some time. Man. Lucky you. All right. Listen, I'm still trying to find my wife, but cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
But anyway, like a lot of men are getting set up on these apps, yo, and not even just the apps, but you still have to look out for things like Instagram and Facebook. As an example, this whole situation with Drake, allegedly those two met on Instagram before they ever met up in person. And there's actually a few other cases that I would like to bring to the forefront and shed some light on, where these gentlemen also met these women on social media apps. Starting with this situation that I heard last year. A Bronx, New York woman used Instagram to set up two unsuspecting men in December of 2021. According to the Daily News, a woman used Instagram to lure two men into robberies in the Bronx. And they started off by saying a woman chatted up two men on Instagram, offering to hang out with them in the Bronx, but instead delivered both to a pair of masked bandits, cops said. One gullible victim was stripped of his clothing, while another was shot at during his dash to escape, police said. The first victim, 24, was tricked into meeting the woman at 11:30 p.m. on December 3rd near a contractor's office on Anthony Ave near the Cross Bronx Expressway in Claremont Village, cops said. She showed up, but so did two crooks in masks. They ordered him at gunpoint to remove his clothing and property, then stole his car, a 2018 Infiniti, and drove off.
Wow.
The next day, the woman convinced a 27-year-old man to meet her on a residential block in Eastchester, cops said. He showed up at about 8 p.m. and was confronted by 2 masked robbers who took his cell phone, coat, chain, and gold ring. The victim managed to escape with his car, but the duo opened fire on him, striking his vehicle as he fled.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Fellas, y'all gotta be careful, man. Another situation. This one regarding a 22-year-old Las Vegas woman who robbed a man in Arizona at gunpoint in December of 2021 after shooting at him 2 times while he was sleeping on the couch of a condo that he was renting. The two supposedly met on Instagram before having a romantic rendezvous in person. According to ABC 15 Arizona, a man renting a condo in the Munns Park area near Flagstaff reported to authorities that he had been staying there with 22-year-old Lily Beeler. He was apparently sleeping on the couch when he says Beeler shot at him twice, demanded property and money, and took off in a Lyft.
Be careful, be careful, be careful. It's so different too.
Yeah.
You know, when I was dating, it was everything was more face to face.
Yeah.
I don't know how this whole experience of meeting online or meeting through like social media goes. So I can't really completely get my take on it. I just would say, man, like, look, man, to me, I feel like little signs should show as far as like when you talking to these girls, like, you know, don't ignore them, whatever it may be, like whether it be like if she's trying to rush you to do something, if she's trying to press you to do something, or if she like has everything set up, like, hey, let's go here. Like if it's too specific, hey man, like why you want to go here? Let's go here. And say like if she's just like, nah, I want to go here. Like I don't know, just pay attention to little stuff, little details, because clearly this person has that person had an ulterior motive.
Right.
And they had a whole thing set up for them. So it's just, I don't know. To me, I feel like red flags will show, but it's going to be probably subtle. So don't ignore those. But that's tough to find or tough to see sometimes, especially if your mind is set on one thing.
And it's crazy because I'm not out the game yet. So I can tell my experience about meeting certain young women online. Mm-hmm. I've only met one woman off of a dating app. That was Tinder. But this was back in like 2016. Mm-hmm. I mean, we just went out for coffee at Starbucks. Things didn't work out. So that was cool. You know, I'm straight. Like, all right, bet. You know, it didn't work out. Let's try again. I didn't meet somebody else online until years later because I was in a relationship for the next 3 years. Mm. And the next young woman that I met, who I was, you know, starting to take somewhat seriously, we met on Instagram. That was a young lady who I said, you know, kind of peer pressured me into smashing. Mm-hmm. And it sounds weird, you know, to hear a guy say that. Like, not many guys say that they've been peer pressured into having sex with a woman. Mm-hmm. But it happens.
All right.
And typically, you know, we might get laughed at because it's like we're looked at as the ones who normally are the aggressors when it comes to sex. Mm-hmm. But we're not always just trying to smash like that, especially somebody like me who understands the significance of soul ties. Like, I don't just want to be attached to anybody that way. You know what I'm saying? I like to properly vet who I'm dealing with before I do anything like that with them. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you the last time I was just smashing a woman for fun. Mm-hmm. Like, it had to be my early 20s. Like, and that was a decade ago, man.
Mm-hmm. That's real talk.
So the last young lady that I met online, who I was dealing with, we met on Instagram. And the first time we met up, you know, I had planned a whole date, whatever. Like I said, you know, this is where we're going to meet. We're going to eat, you know, do this, whatever. She wanted to change the plans. And, you know, in my head, I was thinking like, what if this could be a setup? You know, it was a potential thought. I didn't know if this young woman would try to set me up or not, but it was just something that had crossed my mind. Mm. So I'm like, no, let's just stick to the plans that I initially had, right? Because you just never know. You really never know. Maybe, you know, fortunately, it turned out that she wasn't trying to set me up. You know, we've gone out multiple times even after that. So things were cool. But let's just say, hypothetically, if she was the type to set me up and was like, okay, instead of meeting here where you initially planned to have us meet, let's meet here instead. And I just went along with it. Next thing you know, I'm at her place, or not her place, but the place of her choosing, the time of her choosing. And then I'm met by some dudes wearing masks demanding me to, you know, have me take my chain off, my watch off, whatever. I ain't for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't welcome that kind of energy in my life. Like, I'm not trying to get set up. And it's crazy. Like, it just blows my mind, man. Like, these dudes out here, either they're looking to have fun or they're looking for something serious with a woman, and they're getting set up.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that stuff like this doesn't happen to women, right? So, again, for any ladies out there who are thinking like, oh, well, it happens to women too, whatever. Okay, I understand that. But like I said before, this episode is solely focused on men. It's solely focused on what the young men out there can learn that they may not have never learned from an older gentleman or older sibling or their parents or whatever. It's really dangerous out here in these streets. And we will have an episode dedicated to women and the dangers of dating as a young woman. But as far as I know, neither one of us are young women. So we can't really speak too much on women's experiences. So we would love to at least have a woman on the show so that she can speak to the experiences of dating as a young woman.
You said something that made me just think. All these men in this situation, of course, none of it is good at what happened to them. We don't ever want to see that. But I also think about, I believe that nothing happens by coincidence. Mm-hmm. Basically, I guess my point is to just say, you know, make sure that you as a man, that you are doing right up front. Because typically in life, things have a way of coming back to you.
Right.
So I don't know what these men were doing prior to women or anyone in their life as far as the way they treat them, the way they were living their life, that would cause something like this to come back on them. Now, I'm not saying things don't just happen. Like, you know, there's situations, like you said, like somebody was, you know, they shot at you, right?
Yeah.
Prior to that, you wasn't going out there shooting up the block. No. So, yes, I understand things like that happen. But I'm also not going to negate the fact that sometimes, the energy that you put out, it has a way of finding its way back to you.
Message.
So just be careful at the way you have treated people or treated women or done anything before, because some of these situations could come to you in a way that, you know, life has a funny way of acting. So just be careful. But also, you know, like we said, you know, make sure that you're taking your time with these women, man. Like, I don't know, dude, like really talking and trying to get to know a woman. I think that's what kept me from being in some of these situations. I really wanted to get to know who you were.
Right.
Like, let me find out about you. Let's talk. Like, let's really talk. And I always took my time. I was never really the guy that, like, I'm just trying to smash. Nah, like, I want to get to know you. 9 times out of 10, you was probably going to want to smash me before I want to smash you.
Hey.
And that was just on real talk.
That's
like,
the attitude they have right there, fellas. You know what I'm saying?
That was just real talk. Like, you, typically, 9 times out of 10, the girl was ready to have relations with me before I was with them. Not saying it didn't cross my mind, but I was never like, man, hurry up, let me get to, nah, bro. It's like, you gonna want me before I really want you. And that ultimately, you know, made me see who was really about me, and it showed me the same about her.
That right there, man. And a lot of people believe in karma. Like, that is something serious that I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the saying, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Amen.
And you never know what these fellas might have done unto other people to really welcome that energy onto them.
I'm saying, brother, you don't know. So you got to be careful.
Wow. Yeah, that made me look at things in a different light, yo.
You just never know. Now, we don't know in these brothers' cases, but hey, come on now. Just let's think.
Speaking of thinking, there's another article that I actually came across, but this was something that I heard on the news last year because it happened in Atlanta.
Uh-oh.
There was a Florida man who was in town who met an Atlanta woman, supposedly on Instagram, and they decided to meet up for a date. And let's just say that, you know, he inviting her back to his hotel room, and he went to sleep, woke up to hearing the shower running. So he's thinking that she's in the shower, you know. And he's just chilling, laying there in the bed, just like, okay, well, what's taking her so long? He decides to get up and look around, notices that the safe that was in the hotel room was wide open. Bruh. And his jewelry was missing. So he went to the shower to question her about it. She was not there.
Dipped out on him.
She did. And he appraised that jewelry and told the cops that the jewelry was worth $1 million.
Oh my God!
Is he a rapper?
I don't know. They didn't release this man's identity.
What you doing with that much jewelry on, brother?
But when they had the surveillance footage from the hotel, especially of the two of them getting on the elevator, they cropped his face out. They showed her face clear as day because she was on the run. They wanted to capture her.
Right.
I don't know the update of the situation, but this happened last June, 2021.
Gosh.
I'm sure she was arrested. I hope she was arrested. But they cut his face off. They showed her face. But in cutting his face off from the camera, they showed all the chains he was wearing. That man was iced out.
Wow.
At $1 million.
Wow.
So,
the safe typically has some form of a code to it.
Right.
How's she getting the safe?
It's funny that you mentioned that, Mike, because according to 11alive.com, when they posted their article regarding the situation last year, they said that the Atlanta Police Department said the woman introduced herself as Sasha to a man at Hyde Kitchen and Cocktails on Roswell Road. And according to Atlanta Police Department, APD said he had sex with her and believes he might have been drugged, stating to police he has never slept that hard.
Makes sense.
Yep. So, he believes that he was drugged, and that's possibly how she was able to get the code. Maybe if he was drugged and he really didn't pay attention to his surroundings, she probably got the code that way, and he was out cold while she was able to make off with $1 million worth of jewelry.
Yeah, bro, because I used to actually work for a hotel, and typically a lot of the hotels that you go in and that have safes, the safes make a noise as you're typing in the digits. It's not silent. So if I'm asleep, I'm hearing some numbers going off. I'm like, what's going on, bro? Like, so yeah, that makes sense. She had this planned out.
Yeah.
She was scouting him.
Yep. Police also said the man wasn't sure how she was able to unlock the safe. But according to APD's report, chains, bracelets, a Rolex, and charms were allegedly taken.
Oh, hell no!
She got that man for a boatload of jewelry.
Yeah, man. Bro, a Rolex is easily no cheaper than $8,000. And now, depending on how his man jewelry was looking, looked like everything he had was bust down. So we talking upwards of like $20,000, $40,000, $50,000 easily just for the Rolex alone.
Yeah.
Man, well, I hope that this lady learned her lesson. I hope that his brother has learned his lesson. And, I don't really know how the whole dating game as far as going out to the club goes. But hopefully he has a new game plan next time and being wiser as well.
Well, I hope so, too, because I really think walking around with all that jewelry on you just asking for it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Asking for it. And especially if you don't have security.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of rappers do this, and they have security around them when they got nothing but chains on and, iced out watches, whatever.
Yeah.
But this gentleman, apparently he had no security. She got him.
Man, we gotta do better, my brothers and sisters, because we don't want to forget them, because they could be in a situation too. But specifically, my brothers,
or they can be causing the situation.
Yeah. No
offense to our sisters who are listening, but we just never know. Somebody who might come across this podcast might be one of the young women who was running these games on guys. Like you said, there was somebody who you were talking to who set guys up to be robbed.
That's true.
You didn't really know she got down like that.
That's true.
You just never know.
And that was, it's crazy because this is where it goes back to your character. I have never been a person to try to do somebody wrong. That's not who I am. That's never who I will be. And I believe that's one of the reasons why it didn't happen to me. that's never been who I am. So I feel like for her to even try to do that to me, it didn't even make sense.
Right.
So, like I said, man, just make sure that you have a good character. Make sure you're doing right, because you just never know.
And fellas, vet these women. Please.
I don't care if she got a big butt and a smile.
Bruh. Never trust it. Because I had to learn that the hard way last year.
She got to have something going on in the inside.
And not just the guts. You feel me? Bruh. Not just the guts.
Oh, man. And it's the problem, because, dude, we live in this social media era where, bro, like, everybody's posting the best of the best. They posting how they look. These filters are getting out of hand.
The angles.
Oh my gosh, bro. These filters and angles, dude, it can literally transform you.
Yeah.
You do not even look the same. And that's what these girls are posting. And it's like, that's what you seeing. That's what's enticing you. Because, you know, men, we visual creatures.
Of course.
So that's what we want to see. Oh, snap. Let me get in them DMs.
Tiny waist, big booty.
Come on,
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, wow, she bad.
And she messaged me back?
Word?
Come on now.
She didn't leave me on scene?
What? We going out? That's all I need.
Yeah. We in there like swimwear.
That's it.
Best dressed, fresh cut, fresh gear.
That's it. I'm putting on my best.
Just to get robbed.
Bruh. And then what? She ghosts you after that. She blocks you and everything.
Right. Like this Tennessee man who was set up by a young woman and a few others who set him up to rob him, assault him, and kidnapped him after the woman baited him on a dating app in November of 2021. Did you hear about this?
No.
So November 15th, 2021.
3 days after my birthday. Got him. Man, what happened? Man.
According to Action News 5 in Tennessee, 3 accused of luring a man through dating app, kidnapping, assaulting, and robbing him. 2 women and a man were facing several charges following that kidnapping. And Memphis police say that the victim was supposed to meet a woman named Sonia at an apartment in Cordova on Sunday, but was instead met by Nadia Townsend, Jasmine Williams, and Trevor Keys. An affidavit detailing the incident says the victim met Sonia on a dating app called Moco Space. Never heard of it. And was lured to an apartment. Once inside, the 3 suspects demanded his cell phone, wallet, and keys. When he refused, the suspects began to assault him, according to the records. He was then put in the backseat of his vehicle. Right? He was placed in the backseat of his own car while the armed suspects drove through the Raleigh area. The 2 women were in the front, right? One was driving, one was in the passenger side, and the man that was with them was in the back with him. When the vehicle stopped, the victim jumped out and ran to a wooded area as he heard multiple gunshots fired behind him. This man was running for his life, and they was just busting at him.
Jesus.
And he ducked off in a wooded area nearby and hid there until he figured the coast was clear. Once he figured that they were gone, he went to the nearby hospital where he was checked out and alerted the local authorities of what happened. And they were caught.
Wow.
The individuals were caught. Investigators say he called police after he walked to Methodist North Hospital and identified the suspects in a photo lineup. All 3 suspects are charged with attempted first-degree murder, especially aggravated kidnapping, aggravated robbery, and employment of a firearm while committing a dangerous felony.
My thing, I mean, other than like how we said vetting, my other thing would just be, pay attention to the signs. Like they're gonna be very subtle, but there has to be some form of a sign that's like, some don't feel right, some don't look right. This ain't it, and listen to that, because I mean, bruh, that's scary.
Very.
That's scary.
And fellas, she invited him to an apartment complex. Never, under any circumstances, invite some woman that you just met to your place and never go over to hers.
Yeah.
I don't know how that became so common nowadays, to where a lot of people swear a first date is let's Netflix and chill, or come over my place, we can cook together, or whatever. Like, I don't know you.
No.
I don't know what your intentions are. You're not coming over to my place. You're not going to know where I live. I don't care to know where you live. You don't know me. You don't know what I'm capable of. I'm not coming over your spot. You're not coming over mine. Simple as that. And if we're going to meet in a public place at a decent time, a reasonable time where a lot of people are out. That way, if you try something, first of all, you're less likely to want to try something because of all the people that are out and could potentially identify you if you try to do something to me. And second of all, I mean, shoot, you're less likely to even want to act upon whatever urges you have to want to rob me or kidnap me or whatever the heck, set me up in any way that you want to set me up. There's just so much you got to think about, fellas.
You know what though? I'm starting to understand now. Like I don't know how old some of these people are, but
some of them are in their 20s.
But see, that's the thing though, bro. You know what I'm thinking about now? It's like some of them are just young-minded, and you don't think about that. Because I can go back to a situation where I was talking to somebody. Luckily, I picked up on red flags. But at one point, bro, I was about to meet this person at their home. And
for the first time.
But it was just red flags because they was just acting sketchy. So I just was like, hold on now. I always learned if it just sounds too good to be true, 9 times out of 10 it is. So I just kind of went with my gut, and I'm like, nah, it's not flowing. It don't seem right. So I just never went. But in my mind though, I'm not thinking, I'm gonna get set up, or I could get set up. I'm not thinking like that because that didn't even cross my mind. So maybe these guys are really just young, except for the man who had on that $1 million worth of jewelry. He been getting money out here doing something. So
doing something. Whatever he was doing, I don't know. He was out here doing something.
He doing something. But other than that, man, maybe these guys are really young and they just have never been taught to, like you just said, take your time, man. Vet these women. Look at signs. Like, don't just try to go for the cookie. Think beyond that. Think about more than that. So I think that can help. Because my 22-year-old mind, I wasn't thinking that far ahead. I wasn't. I gotta be honest.
Well, my 22-year-old mind, the only women I was messing with were women that I might have worked with at the time or met in school. Yeah. On campus. And if we did anything, it was in the dorms where there was a lot of people, or it was in my car and wherever we were. I hope my mother's not listening to this anymore. But no, like, straight up, for the most part, when I was 22, 23, we were kicking it in college dorms. If I did anything with a woman I just met, it was in a dorm.
Right.
For the most part, at least at Georgia State campus, we had to be checked into some of the dorms. Yep. There was security at the front desk.
Yep.
Fortunately, I was never set up, and I'm grateful for that. So
yeah, same here. But it's unfortunate. So I think this is really good because we're now educating some brothers and sisters, I hope, that this could be you. And we don't want it to be you.
No.
But you have the opportunity now to take heed to some of the words that we're saying and to hopefully, man, just, make better choices. My take is this. If it's too easy, you don't want that.
Right.
You don't want that. It's too easy for a reason.
That is true.
You don't want that. I'm telling you, brother.
I don't care who it is. I don't care how bad she is. You don't want that.
You do not.
Mike, if old girl who I'm talking about, if old girl would invite me, if it was super easy, I don't care how bad she is, I'm not going for it.
I'm saying, though.
I'm not going for it because...
But it's tough, B, because, like, what if you're a brother who really ain't get a lot of play, and this girl, she giving you all the attention, she giving you all the signs, yo, come on, like, how can you turn that down?
I could kind of see that, but I don't understand that because I've never been the type of brother to never get no play. You feel me?
That's tough, man. It's tough. But even if you're a brother, man, you don't get a lot of play. I'm just telling you, bro. Like, be yourself and take your time, and I guarantee you, the right one will come. Like, yeah. But if
you don't gotta rush that,
you don't.
Because sometimes, I mean, you think you're about to get into something that's amazing, and after you finish, you're like, that's it.
Yeah. you be more disappointed in yourself than
Right.
anything. Like,
and you could have been doing everything right. You know, like shoot. Had music playing, maybe had some, you know, the ambiance was right. You had like the drinks flowing, whatever the case may be, and it was like, yo, it wasn't worth it.
because typically that's how it is. It's like you tend to think after the act is done.
Yeah.
The real thinking actually comes in. The real thinking actually comes in.
Like, dang, did I really need to do that?
But
Did
what
I
the
really need to hit?
I was like, what was I thinking?
Right.
It's like you snap into the real you after that.
Yes.
This is crazy.
It's like, yo, why did I do that?
Bruh. I'm telling you, for those of y'all that's listening that know what we talking about, you know what we talking
You
about.
know exactly what we're talking about.
You know what we talking about.
Man.
So let's think beforehand and not after said activities have been done. You'll be more grateful. Trust me.
So again, fellas, what I want to say with that is never, and I'm just going to constantly reiterate this, never invite a young woman who you're just meeting for the first time over to your place. Never go over to her place. Never meet her at an Airbnb, someplace where like nobody's going to be at all. Like don't meet her at a hotel, nothing. Get to know her first. Just be patient. Try to go someplace well lit. For the first few dates, just make sure she is who she says she is.
Real talk.
And the sad part about it is, even if you go to a well-lit place, you never know what's going to happen because you could still potentially be set up, but you just need to know how to mind your surroundings and just be careful. The very last story that I want to touch on this evening is regarding a 20-year-old man by the name of Darnay Allman, who was set up and murdered by a 16-year-old girl who he had no idea was 16 and her 18-year-old counterpart outside of a bar that they were hanging out at when they met for the very first time. So, this incident happened in July 2021 and there were no arrests made until the following month in August. And according to Fox 19, out of Forest Park, Ohio, police said that they arrested 2 suspects in the shooting death of 20-year-old Darnay Allman in July. One of which was a man by the name of DeAndre Manning, who was 18, and a 16-year-old girl who was unnamed, assuming because she was a minor. And they were both charged with aggravated murder and aggravated robbery. And his bond was set at 1.25 milli. He ain't getting out.
Nope.
So, what happened was the officers found Darnay, the young gentleman, the 20-year-old. He was shot to death on Pelston Court around 2 a.m. on July 29th. He was originally found along the berm of the roadway by a customer of Sydney's Saloon, which is located across the street. Police say they believe Manning and the underage suspect lured Allman to a secluded area on Pelston Court, intending to rob him. The suspect shot Allman before fleeing the scene, according to police. In a different article that I read prior to this one, it was stated that Darnay Allman met this young lady on Facebook and decided to meet up with her at a bar to go on a date. He was 20 years old. He was about to be 21 shortly after. He was a college student. And I'm guessing he assumed that this young lady was also college age. And they met up, talked for a little bit. And when they left the bar, of course, the article says that his body was found around 2 a.m. But when they met the bar, I guess later on in the evening, the young lady had a surprise waiting for Darnay as soon as he walked out.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how many people were at this bar at the time, but I mean, you're thinking you're meeting a young woman online and you want to meet in a public place, so you might be somewhat safe. But this young lady had other plans for him, man, and she had somebody waiting outside to set him up and rob him, and they actually did more than that. I don't know, man. It's sad, but even with meeting somebody in public, you never know what's gonna happen.
Right. I don't know their situation or how long they were talking prior to them meeting up, but my only thing would be just taking the time to talk to someone for a long time. Because if somebody's trying to like rush you to meet up, like I said, look at that as a red flag. Take your time, bro. Don't be in no rush for nothing. Because if a lot of times we have a tendency to give our power up to women, and they can sense that and they can take advantage of it. But I've learned over time that if you just realize that you as a man, you have power, and to realize your worth, women will sense that and then they will respect you in that way. But if they can take advantage of and just use that against you, guarantee they will. So I'm sad to hear, they took this young brother's life, man, over nothing.
Right.
Over probably a couple material possessions.
They ended his life over something like that, man.
And now their life is gone too. Because they going to spend the rest of their lives behind bars.
Well, the young woman, I'm not so sure. And the only reason why I say that is because typically, especially with the court system in the States, for the most part, women can commit the same crime as a man and they'll get a smaller sentence for it. Like, think of the young lady we covered in like the last episode or 2 episodes ago, the new prison bae, right? She stabbed the girl in her neck pretty much with the intention to murk her, right? To take her out. Like, she collapsed the young lady's lung and she pierced the woman's jugular, the jugular vein in the neck, which if you could bleed out from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she could have passed away from that. But she only got 7 years. And she's the one who committed the act. This young lady was 16, most likely will not be getting tried as an adult.
Right.
And all she did was set him up. Now, I'm not saying that wasn't wrong. What she did was definitely wrong, and she deserves everything that's coming to her. Just like the gentleman who actually might have pulled the trigger and took him out. He also deserves everything that's coming to him. But I strongly feel, and I pray this isn't the case, I pray that I'm wrong about this, but I strongly feel that she's going to get a lighter sentence. I think he's going to go away for good. I think he's going to get life. But this young lady might only get maybe 10 years, give or take, and be out by the time she's in her late 20s, early 30s, whatever. Still being able to do the same thing to another young man. Which, again, I hope I'm wrong about that.
Yeah. Hopefully she has learned something from that whole situation. But then again, like I say, man, that you can't run from those things. Even though, we go through the whole court system, the judicial system and everything, man. When you do wrong, it has a way of finding you. It has a way of finding you. It's like a balance of life. You ain't gonna get away. Trust me. You gonna see the repercussions of that in some way, shape, or form. But man, I hate that young man's life was taken. That's unfortunate, brother. Over nothing.
What I want to say with that, just to wrap up these series of stories, gentlemen, like, you just never know what these young ladies' intentions are. Just because you meet them on a dating app, just because you might have met them on Instagram, just because they look bad, just because, their profile pictures, which could have 1,000 filters on it, so many different angles in their shots, or whatever Photoshop method might have been used to enhance certain assets, if you feel what I'm talking about, just to get your attention. It doesn't mean that they have good intentions for you. Now, I'm not saying that's the case with every young woman that you meet online, because you just never know. Like, some women, or for the most part, most women, might just want to be looking for love the same as you, or might want to look for a good time the same as you, and are in it for the same reasons that you are. But you never know. Some smaller group of women possibly might just want to set you up for something else. So,
I would say if you're looking on, like, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever, look at the things that they're posting. Like, actually go through and look at some of the stuff that they're posting. Try to find out more about them. Because to me, I'm thinking these girls who, setting these men up, they ain't really posting about nothing that's intellectual.
Right.
Something that is, like, makes you think or is thought-provoking. To me, they probably just posting pictures of themselves. They just probably posting that. They're not really posting something that is meaningful. So just look at all those things. Now, dating apps, I don't know. I ain't never really touched a dating app, so I can't really speak on that. And I don't really know how that works. But, yeah, I think that's one thing you can look at. Just look at the stuff that they're posting.
So again, like I said, meet at a public place with a lot of people at a decent hour. Get in, have a conversation, get out. Don't meet at their place for the very first time.
Nope.
Definitely don't invite them to your place. And certainly don't take them to a hotel room or Airbnb. Mm-hmm. You never know what could happen. Next, if you're certainly not ready to become a father, gentlemen, don't have sex with these women yet. Especially if you don't know enough about this woman to want to make sure that she is the woman who is going to birth your child or children. If you don't know enough about her to be like, yo, I want her to be the mother of my kids, don't sleep with her. Why are you sleeping with her? If you're not ready to endure what comes after getting a young woman pregnant, and you're not ready to endure going through at least 18 years of your life and your child's life with this woman, and I say at least because you will be stuck with that woman for life. As long as that child of yours is still alive, and as long as you both are still alive, you will be dealing with that woman for your life. Because you have that one thing in common, which is the child that you made out of one night of instant gratification.
Yep.
Don't have sex with her if you're not ready to make her the mother of your kid.
Message.
And I will say lastly, think with your bigger head, not the smaller one. If you are going to have sex with her, strap up.
Please. And bring hot sauce with you.
Bruh.
Not the hot sauce.
Bring the hot sauce packets with you just in case, brother.
Keep a bottle of siracha in the car.
I'm telling
Some
you.
Texas Pete.
Please, brother. Come on now.
Dang.
Learn from Drake.
He's a smart man for doing that. I'm not gonna lie.
He definitely put me up on some game. I don't need it, but I'm just saying.
He put me up on some game, damn it.
I never heard of that. Ever. Hot sauce.
Oh man, and listen, if I'm not married by the time that we make it and we pushing Ferraris and women could just like smell the money on me, I'm keeping hot sauce with me at all times. Just in case, you just never know.
Hot sauce gonna fall out your pocket. Be like, oh, okay, I got you. I got you, B. Don't even worry about that. Like, why does man always ask for hot sauce everywhere we go?
Brandon, we just went to Cold Stone. I don't care. I just wanted to know if they had hot sauce.
Hot sauce. That is funny. Hey, that's true though, man. Yeah, man. Please, y'all, be careful, man. I don't like to hear stories like this, but it clearly needs to be talked about, and just we need more people talking about this so that we can educate people, and hopefully they don't go down the same road that some of these brothers had to.
Mike, with all of that being said,
yes, sir.
With the lessons that hopefully these young men and young women have learned from this episode,
yes, sir.
What is next?
Oh, you already know it's that dessert. That dessert. But nah, we gotta get to these answers of the week, brother.
Which, by the way, we had a lot.
Yeah.
I thought we had a lot last week. Bro, this post has at least 32 comments on it. And I will say a good amount of them came, well, not a good amount, but some of them were responses that we put on there responding to other people. But, yo.
It blew up, man.
This thing had a lot of comments on it. So thank you to every single one of y'all who answered this week. Yo, it's crazy. We used to have to beg to get people.
We did. We did. We definitely did, man.
But like, yo, go answer this one real quick.
Come on, please, yo, please answer. Please answer this question.
Yo, I guess now it's just to the point to where, thankfully, 21 episodes later. Well, we didn't start it at episode 1, but
yeah,
however long we've been doing the question of the week, people have caught on to this point.
Yeah,
of where it's like, yo, they got a new question.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and answer.
Yeah, man. That's dope. Think about it. I don't know a lot of people doing that.
Me either.
I don't. So this is cool that we have something that we can say is us, and this is what we do, man.
All right. So let's go down the list. But before we do, Mike, what was the question of the week from last week?
So the previous question was, if you had the opportunity to get a message across to a large group of people, what would your message be?
I want to start with myself.
Okay.
My message, and this is something that I've been planning since last week, because I said I already had the answer in my head, but I didn't want to say it till this week, and it was this episode.
Yes.
This entire episode, I wanted to teach brothers certain things about having relations with these young women, especially meeting them for the very first time, that I wish somebody would have told me. But granted, I'm not even going to say I wish somebody told me when I was younger, because when I was younger, women weren't really acting like this. I will say that. At least the women that I knew weren't acting like this. And we didn't have social media. Well, I mean, we did. We had MySpace when I was in high school, and then Facebook. So yeah, we had Facebook when I was in college. We didn't have, no, that's a lie. We had Instagram too. It just started though.
Yeah, it wasn't like to the scale that how it is now.
It's not. It definitely wasn't the way that it is now. But when I was in college, when I got to college, yeah, we had Instagram.
I believe
so.
That's actually pretty dope.
Yeah,
that you said that.
I wanted to just give something to the young brothers out there so that they would learn a lesson. You know, just about meeting young women for the very first time.
Hey man, you did it. You did it right here.
I did. It was all part of the plan.
Hey man, that's actually really good. That's pretty dope.
I'm a genius,
bruh.
Just to let y'all know.
But anywho, stop the cap.
So yeah.
Oh man. Well, my answer was I wrote never give up on the vision that you can see and no one else can. I think for me in my life, that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed is, you know, we'll have a vision to ourselves that it's like not everybody can really see it yet. It's up top. But even if someone can't see that vision or it just sounds crazy to them, don't ever stop going for that, because it's a reason that you have it. And sometimes you just got to bring it to life for people to really, really understand why you had that and why you was going so hard for it.
Word.
So that's me.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Now let's go down this long list. Hey, we've been asking for people to answer the question of the week, but now that we got it, we got a whole lot of answers to go through.
I'm trying to think about in the future, bro. Like when it gets to like 1,000 comments, bro. How we gonna do this? How we gonna do this?
Patreon.
Yo, for real.
If you want us to shout you out, if you want us to read your response, head over to Patreon.
Please. Yeah, okay. That's gonna be good.
So, because we'll probably have to dedicate a whole episode to just giving out the answers of the week. Straight answers, yeah.
For real. All right, what you got for me?
So, Sister Willie Ruth said, I would say stop the racism. It's a good message to get out there.
It's a great one. We need it.
The Wilderness 77 said, seek the truth. That is to thirst to know and practice the way we were designed to live, i.e. the character and lifestyle that will sustain and flourish all creatures and creation towards paradise.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a powerful message.
Yeah.
Kicking It with K-Rob said, to be yourself and not fear the judgment of others, and to just be a good person to people and do your best at communicating and comprehending. Powerful.
I can dig it.
Will to Create Entertainment said, love on who loves on you.
Yes, sir.
Call Me Tony said, be aware of where you put your time and energy into, because every choice will affect your future. So you want to make sure everything that you do or will do aligns with where you want to go in life. It has to benefit your goals, your dreams, and visions. What you got next for us, Mike?
All right, so the roll-up said, support your, I'm going to quote, MF friends. Everybody want VIP, but don't want to do VIP shh. Support your homies more.
Hey, you know what? That is a great message to teach.
Yeah.
And with that, I will say to anybody who's listening, support your friends the same way you support all these name brand companies out here that are not paying you, that will never ever support you. Support your friends.
That's dope. And he's actually doing that too. Like, he ain't just saying that. Like,
that's a fact.
He really does do that.
You know what I'm saying? He shouts us out often. We shout him out often. I mean, it's a mutual respect. And speaking of, I want to give a huge shout out to our boy Brent, aka Flawless, for just dropping his latest single, Ready As I'll Ever Be. Trust me when I tell you that joint is banging. And and I've had it on repeat ever since he dropped it yesterday. It's out on all platforms, so go stream it on Apple Music. Make sure you stream it on Spotify. Run his numbers up. And if y'all don't know about Flawless, that's the gentleman who did the intro to our podcast, Impact. So for those of y'all who be walking up to me with that song stuck in your head and y'all trying to recite Brent's bars, yeah, those bars belong to Flawless. So make sure you go support that brother because he is definitely one to look out for because he's fire in the booth. Shout out to you, Brent, and we greatly appreciate you for everything that you have done for this show so far. So just as you support us, man, we definitely going to support you.
No doubt, no doubt. Appreciate you, brother.
So, More Water said, be good to everyone you come into contact with. More Detailing said, everything great once started small. That's a powerful message.
That's true. That's true.
XX Jasmine said, think before you react. Something that might bother you in a moment might not matter later on.
That's good.
Very. DG Arts says, buy crypto. Do your research. Buy as much of different coins as you can. $1, $2, $10, $50. Any amount. Just keep buying with whatever spare cash you got. You won't regret it.
Hey, I'm with you there, brother.
That's forward thinking, my guy.
It is.
Asha Cyril said, what's really worth your energy? Will that discussion / complaint you have with others bring you new opportunities or understandings or disturb your peace?
That's good.
Many people really don't think about that.
We don't.
So that's a great message to get across to other people. TNH Podcast said, follow your dreams. Do not give up on yourself. Show up and give 100% every day for you. Love yourself, trust the process, and have faith.
Yes, sir. Work hard on yourself, then you do your job.
Boy. Shout out to TNH Podcast, aka the Neighborhood's Homegirls Podcast. Recently stumbled across her podcast last week, and she has some pretty good topics. So, hey, shout out to you, Neighborhood Homegirl. Maybe one day we can do a collab and get that popping. And you know what? Heck, we got a lot of collabs in the work. I just thought about it.
Brother, this is only the beginning.
It is.
We're gonna make sure we run it up.
I just got asked about a collab a few days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me, man. They catching on.
We definitely got a collab, man. We got so many requests on the docket, man. We got to get with it.
Oh, we're gonna run it, man. We definitely got something to making for them.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Me too. I'm ready to grow. But of course, we know growth doesn't happen overnight, man. It takes time.
It does.
You don't just plant a seed and check back on it every 2 hours and like, did it sprout yet? Did it sprout yet? No.
Ooh.
It takes time. So that's all I'm going to say with that.
That's a bar.
Yes, sir.
That's a key.
So,
those are the answers from the week. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for all your responses. We greatly appreciate it. All the answers were amazing. Very insightful, and I truly believe that as we read them out and as other people get a chance to see them, that they not only impact us, but they impact y'all.
Facts.
And it's a residual impact.
Yay. You already know. You already know.
So you know we can't just leave y'all with the answers from the previous week. We got to give y'all another question of the week.
So, Mike, what was that question that we had planned for this week?
So the question for this week is, has dating in this social media era helped or hurt people more? That's an interesting one.
That really ties into everything we talked about in this episode. So I want y'all to really think about that. Has it helped us or hurt us?
I know what a lot of people would say off rip. I ain't gonna
You
say
do?
Yeah, because I've talked to a lot of people who are in the dating market, and it's very similar. It's kind of weird, but I ain't gonna say it. But
I can't wait to hear the answers.
yeah.
So you guys already know how to answer the question of the week. We're on YouTube, so I know y'all are watching us on YouTube. I just know it. I have a feeling because the subscriber count went up. The subscriber count has gone up.
It has.
So has the price.
Hey,
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
you see this man braids, brother? You see this man braids?
I had to pay for that. No, I'm just kidding. I did, but you know.
Boy, if you don't get...
So, Mike.
Yes, sir.
One solid takeaway that you got from this episode, and one thing that you can, say to the audience who is listening and watching?
Be careful. Take your time. Be wise. Use common sense. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That's it. That's it.
Hey, that was good. That was good. I was expecting you to say more because it looked like you were about to.
I felt like it was, but I was like, you know what? I'm just leave it at that.
Hey, that's cool, man.
Just leave it at that.
Drop the mic at that point. I mean, what was said needed to be said.
Real talk.
So, to quote the great Lauryn Hill, guys, you better watch out.
Yeah.
Because some girls are only about that thing.
It's real
So
talk.
with that being said, this was episode
21.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We greatly
talk.
appreciate each and every single one of you. And we will be back next time for episode 22.
22.
Deuce,
That
deuce.
deuce. But you already know we can't leave B without that message.
That message.
Come on,
Drake?
Man. Drake.
Where you are today is a residual outcome of the thoughts you had in the past.
Yes, sir.
Catch y'all next time. Peace.